Greetings. So I've been contemplating, because I'm reading a few different spiritual texts, several actually that reference this idea or this concept of life and our life experience here being sort of like a play, as though you are an actor on a stage interacting with other actors on other stages. And it's interesting the parallel suggestions in these various different writings and teachings. The suggestion is also made that you are the writer and the director as well as the actor, and that you are writing and directing it as you are acting in it. So all of that's really interesting to contemplate, and I've enjoyed it very much. But it also reminded me of a moment just a few years ago when I had been studying acting, and I was really having a lot of fun with it. And for a while, I had an agent and was available in the industry as an actor for commercial print and theatrical stuff. So that was a chapter of my life experience. And who knows, maybe I'll do some more of that again. But as part of that process, obviously, when you sign with an agent and you're looking at the different actors' access and breakdowns for actors, there are character descriptions, right? So when you're looking through different roles, you have to discern which roles you are a good fit for or which roles are a good fit for you. And so often what you read is, oh, this is a character, a handsome man in his early to mid 30s, a young professional, whatever. Like, there's just a description of what the writer or director is looking for with that character. And so I was relating some of these experiences to a friend, an acquaintance of mine, from the context of, well, I'm kind of feeling into like which characters are right for me, and you know, that line of questioning and conversation. And I remember very distinctly, he offered this response to me, which has stayed with me, and I've contemplated all the dynamics of what led him to say this and what the implications of it were. He said, well, you're no Brad Pitt. Well, my first response was, no, I'm Jared Treadway. Of course I'm no Brad Pitt. But then as I got to thinking about it more, there's an implication there on his part that I'm someone who's either physically self-aware or physically self-obsessed, or that I expect that people are going to cast me in the role or roles similar to how they would cast Brad Pitt. So that was his projection. So part of my contemplation in response to that in the intervening time is what either what question or what vulnerability or what behavior was I expressing as that inspired that response? Or did I have any part in the inspiration of that response from him at all? I don't know. But it was just an interesting, impactful moment for me. And then now in context with this, these spiritual texts that I've been reading, it takes on an even another layer of meaning. So I'm someone, to a certain degree, there is a level of awareness about physicality and physical manifestation, like the way things look aesthetically. I have a Taurus sun, and I like pretty architecture and pretty things. So there is, I like gardens and nature, and there's an aesthetic that I'm always working on and cultivating. And with regards to my physicality, I've always been one that was attentive to, taking care of my physical body. And it's not like I'm obsessing over like tweezing. And I mean, I'm not to a certain degree, I'm not that concerned or interested about it, but I'm aware of it. And I feel like a lot of us are all of us are on this spectrum, from not at all aware or concerned with physical reality at all to hyper aware and maybe only focused on the physical dimension of life. I am someone who has always been aware of physical, emotional, spiritual, all the dimensions of life, mental. It has never felt. I've never felt right not being aware of all of them, the full dimension. I'm not going. There's no projection right now about anyone and what's right for them in this particular incarnation, because I have this sense that we all come in to different life experiences with different mixes of focus. So some of us may be here in this time, in this space, to be only physically focused. Like your whole life might be just about that dimension of life. Some of us may be here to only be spiritually focused. But the question is your level of awareness about who and what you are and what you've come here with. And just coming to some terms or some sense of peace or understanding about what you are here now. What role are you playing? Are you pretending to be a Brad Pitt? Are you trying to play the handsome mid-30s leading man when you would really feel more comfortable and be better as the guy next door? I mean, that's the dynamic. And ultimately, while I have been sort of obsessing over this person's comment from several years ago, that's just my nature to think about those kinds of things. I have fully realized that it's not about me, and I've come to terms with, ultimately, I am the discerner and the authority of how I present myself and what roles are right and what role I'm going to play. So the moral to that story is don't let anyone's projections overwhelm your awareness and your alignment with yourself. That's what that's about. The next layer to this, which I would invite anyone who sees this to contemplate if you haven't already, is that, well, here's the idea. You come into a physical incarnation with an idea of all of the tools and aptitudes and equipment that will serve you best in that incarnation. So that includes the physicality of your body, the way you look, your energetic, etheric bodies, your aura, like everything about what you have and what you are was on purpose. So you put this toolkit together. The question is now, because, we passed this veil and we've sort of forgotten some of that pre-birth planning. So now, like, what are you doing with it? Are you aware of why you brought these tools? And are they serving your intention for this life and your expansion and your growth? Really sweet, delicious questions to contemplate. Well, let me back up. If those questions feel good to you, then I would encourage you to contemplate them. If not, disregard completely. Yeah, I think that's what I wanted to share about that. I'm no Brad Pitt, but I did just get up and I'm a little sweaty and nasty because I just worked out in my living room, so I haven't showered yet. So here's the interesting conclusion. A couple of years later, after that initial comment, I was in another conversation, actually with my friend who cuts my hair when I get my hair cut. And I don't remember exactly the context of this, but these are the words that she spoke. Oh, you're better looking than Brad Pitt. So one guy says, you're no Brad Pitt, and one lovely lady says, you're better looking than Brad Pitt. So since I have options, I'll just, not that I'm into comparison, but you know the point I'm trying to make. Everyone's idea is a projection of their perception, and the important thing is that you know who you are and how you present and what roles you are here to play. Thanks again for entertaining me sometimes when I post these conversations that are, it's basically just my Gemini mind that goes off in weird directions and makes weird connections, but sometimes they're fun. Let me know your thoughts on this, on projections and the roles that you play and the equipment you've brought and all this juicy stuff. Very good. Thanks for joining me. See you next time.